You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. Sergeant Derek shared this video with me and asked if I could help demonstrate something. I'll let the sergeant explain.
Jose Monkey. I'm Sergeant Derek Bogenschutz at the Sheriff's Office, and I'm currently doing a presentation for numerous kids in our area about the dangers of social media and how it impacts their everyday lives. I'm asking that you find me in this location to see if we can prove to them how easy it is to be tracked just by a video online. Good luck.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So what can we see? The first thing I noticed was this sign that says Sapphire's Reception Center. And guys, I'm going to stop right there and tell you that that alone is sufficient to find this location very quickly. And that's in the first 3 seconds of the video. Seriously, anybody with access to Google can find this location just with that. Perhaps you think that's not the best demonstration though, it's too easy. But keep in mind that most people post videos with information like that all the time. And all it takes is one big clue like that to reveal your location to everyone who's watching. But let's say you're too smart for that. You would never include something so obvious in the background of your video. Fair enough, let's find this place without using that information. If we watch the video closely, we see a few other things. Behind the sergeant, we can see what looks like a gas station here, and there's also something that looks like a big blue pointy wall that might have like a logo on it that's kind of white and yellow, but it's hard to make out. I'll come back to that. We can also see that there's a water tower in the direction of the gas station. We can see that there's some sort of covered pavilion or something to the side here, and as the camera turns, we can see a Holiday Inn Express across the street. And there's also what looks like it might be a restaurant, but I couldn't make out much more than that. I also noticed that the sergeant is wearing a few pins that mention the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. So that told me this is probably Indiana. Now once again, you might be saying that's not a great example because most people don't walk around with pins on their shirt that say what state they're in. But ask yourself, how often have you worn a shirt or a hoodie that has the name of your school on it? Or maybe the name of a sports team that you play for? But if you want, we can exclude that clue too. Because there's also a flag in the background here that's identifiable as an Indiana state flag. Guys, there's almost always something in the video to tell you what state it is. A license plate, whatever. Okay, so I figured I should be looking in Indiana, but for what? Remember that building I showed you with the blue pointy structures and what might be a yellow and white logo? Can you think of any stores that look like that? Like perhaps a Walmart? So if this is a Walmart, you could really just look at all of the Walmarts in Indiana. There are about 100 of them. Now you might be thinking that's really time consuming that nobody would do that. But trust me, it does not take that long to look at and rule out 99 wrong locations. But say you don't want to do that. You could look at the Holiday Inn Express hotels instead. There are fewer of those in Indiana, about 70. And guys, that is something pretty much anybody can do with very little skill. But there are much faster ways to find this. Remember that water tower that we saw? Based on what we see in the video, I figure it's probably no more than a mile away. So I did some quick data mining against the OpenStreetMap database to find all Walmart locations in Indiana that were within 1 mile of a water tower like this. And that cut the number of locations I needed to check in half, down to about 50. But we can do better than that, because we also know that this Walmart is very close to a gas station. I'd say like 100 yards away. So if we look for Walmart stores in Indiana that are close to water towers and very close to gas stations, do you know how many there are? About a dozen. And the sergeant was across the street from this one. You were standing here, near Sapphire's Reception Center, in Portland, Indiana. I used Google Street View to confirm the view of the gas station and the Walmart, and I could also see that Holiday Inn Express down the road. And based on what I can see, I think the sergeant was standing right here to record the video. Guys, this only took me about 10 minutes, and that was without using the big clue about Sapphire's Reception Center. And I have found hundreds of locations from videos just like this when people ask me to do that. In fact, the closest previous location that I've found isn't even too far from here. That was in Season 1, Episode 132, when I found this spot in Salina, Ohio. That's only about 26 miles or 41 kilometers from where the sergeant was standing. Guys, please be careful sharing things online. Double check everything that you post before you post it to make sure you're not revealing more than you intend. And if anybody else who's over 18 would like me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.